Hello, and welcome to today's session. You're on a journey with Investors in People, so it's time to get excited and understand what that journey includes. Our purpose at Investors in People is to make work better. 80,000 hours. That's how long most of us will spend at work during our lifetimes. For a place that's taking up that much of our time, we think people deserve to get more out of it than their monthly paycheck. There are 526,000 people in the UK that are suffering from work-related stress. That's resulting in over 15 million working days lost and an annual mental health bill of £70 billion. There is a clear opportunity for us to influence workplaces in the UK and for you to set an example. That's why we do what we do, to make work better. It's important to remember why good work matters. Organisations that invest in their people find that 74% of their employees feel happy and engaged at work. That has a positive impact on the business where on average 21% saw an increase in profitability and 17% saw an increase in productivity. The more we invest in our people, the happier they feel. It has a positive impact on the business performance whilst also creating a more prosperous society. On this webinar, we'll take you through some of the changes we've made, as well as providing an overview of the new framework. We'll take you through your journey to accreditation and hopefully answer all of your questions. We appreciate that's not going to be the case for everyone, so we'll let you know where to find us if you do have any unanswered questions. And last but certainly not least, by the end of this webinar, you'll feel ready and excited about your journey to accreditation. Let's start by looking at the standard. In 2015, we launched an updated framework which focuses on 3 principles: leading, supporting, and improving. Within each principle, there are 3 indicators. Within each indicator, there are 3 themes. You can download a full copy of the standard under this video, which explains each indicator in more detail. So why did we introduce this new framework? Well, there was a clear need to simplify and modernise the way that we defined what it takes to lead, support and improve your people. It was also important for us to move away from our tick box reputation that we'd developed. And that doesn't mean we've thrown the baby out of the bathwater. Around 80% of the old framework has been brought across into the new, so you'll still be able to clearly recognise your achievements. Our process now considers the thoughts and opinions of all of your people, which we will collect by deploying a survey. At the heart of the framework is your ambition. It means that everything we do is tailored around what you are trying to achieve and how we can help you get there. It's your journey, and we're here to support you every step of the way. I'll now talk a little more about each of the 3 principles. Let's start with leading. Leading focuses heavily on your culture. It looks at how you lead your people, how your people live and breathe the organisation's values and behaviours, and how you empower and involve your people. Why are these important? People want to know how their role contributes to the wider goals of the organisation. They want a purpose. So it's important there's a culture of transparency and trust. Several of our clients have already changed their values based on the findings from their journey, which highlighted that their existing values weren't aligned with their culture. The supporting principle can also be thought of as the scaffolding of an organisation. Not the sexiest, but certainly important. It includes managing performance and recognising and rewarding high performance. This is always a tricky topic, so please don't worry about it. We're not just looking at financial rewards, but every way you recognise and reward your people for their performance. And finally, structuring work, which is about making sure you've got the right people in the right roles doing the right jobs. Now the improving principle. We'll look at how you build capability. So for example, how your people are proactive with their own learning and development, delivering continuous improvement, so how your people work together and how you work with people outside of your organisation. And finally, creating sustainable success, which is about planning for the future. No one can predict it, but you can certainly get solid plans in place, which is what we'll be looking for. We're the only people management accreditation to include a focus on improving. That means you can focus not just on what's happening now, but also what you want to achieve in the future and how you're going to get there. So what have we taken away? Well, it's no longer about ticking the boxes. We assess you against the entire framework to determine where you are and what you need to focus on to progress to the next level. There's no more paperwork. We do the heavy lifting, and it's our responsibility to capture the snapshot of your organisation that we need, which we will do by speaking to all of your people. What have we added? The biggest thing that we've added is the survey. It's the best way for us to capture the thoughts and feelings of all of your employees, including remote workers, junior and senior members of your team. You can start to build a picture of how your people feel from different areas of your organisation, which will also help you to identify areas for improvement. By completing the survey, it means we can also benchmark you against other organisations of a similar size in your industry. We no longer visit every 18 months. We now visit every year. Plus, we're always here to provide support if you need it. We've also introduced a new performance model with 4 stages: developed, established, advanced, and high performing. Remember, this is a journey, not a box ticking exercise. The new performance model will allow you to see how you're progressing from developed through to high performing, whilst also highlighting what you need to do to get to the next level. For those high performing organisations, we've introduced a new platinum award level. I'll talk a little more about that shortly. There are 4 award levels that can be achieved. These are standard, silver, gold, and platinum. Each level is related to which stage your organisation is currently at, as mentioned in the previous slide. A developed organisation will have the basics in place, meaning that your people understand what's expected of them and that they have the right tools to be able to do their jobs properly. If all 9 indicators at developed are met, you will achieve the Investors in People standard accreditation. An established organisation has consistency and people are actively engaged on a day-to-day basis. If all 9 indicators at developed, along with 7 of the 9 at established are achieved, you will achieve Investors in People silver accreditation. An advanced organisation has people that are engaged and drive positive outcomes whilst also taking ownership for the success of the organisation. If all 9 indicators at developed and established are met, along with 7 of the 9 at advanced, you'll achieve Investors in People gold accreditation. And now for the new award level. High-performing organisations have people that take accountability for delivering consistently positive results. They're empowered to drive the business forward. The culture is firmly embedded and there's a big focus on planning for the future. If all 9 indicators at developed, established and advanced are met, along with 7 of the 9 at high performing, you'll achieve Investors in People platinum accreditation. I'll now move on to talk about each step of the journey to your accreditation. But before I do, here's a short video to give you a taste of what to expect. There are 4 steps on your journey to accreditation. Step 1 is the context meeting. Your practitioner will arrange to meet with your senior leadership team to discuss the steps of your journey. They'll be looking to understand how you operate on a day-to-day basis and what your ambition is. Remember, the ambition is at the heart of everything we do. After the context meeting, the practitioner will develop as-is and to-be heat maps, which show where you think you're currently performing against the standard and where you'd like to get to. You can download as is and to be heat map templates underneath this video. Have a go and see where you think you are now and where you want to get to before your practitioner arrives. Step 2 is sending our survey out to all of your people. It's the best way to gather the thoughts from all of your people so that you can understand how they're feeling and what motivates them. The survey is usually open for 3 weeks, but exact durations will be discussed with each organisation individually. The survey can be sent out in multiple ways. Traditionally, we'll send an email to each person in your organisation with a unique link. We can also set up what's called an open access link, which is a great way for staff that don't have regular access to computers or have an email address to answer the survey. Depending on the size of your organisation, we'll need a minimum number of responses. It varies based on size, so we'll confirm your exact minimum response rate with you before their survey opens so that you can plan and promote to encourage your people to take part. We can include groupings in your survey so that you can break down your results by, for example, location, managerial level, department, etc. Groupings can be discussed with your practitioner in the context meeting. All responses are completely anonymous and will remain confidential. Step 3 involves meeting some of your people. We won't have time to meet everyone, but what we will do is make sure we speak to people from every level within the organisation. Your practitioner will confirm who they'd like to speak to and will need your support to set up those meetings. It won't just be one-on-one conversations. We'd also like to get groups of people together depending on what we're looking to talk about. If you have remote workers of multiple sites, we can set up phone or video calls or additional site visits if required. Meeting your people is a great way for us to start to explore the findings of your survey in more depth, to really understand how people feel and how your business operates. Step 4 is all about finding out how you've done and what you can start to focus on to push yourselves to the next level. Your practitioner will develop a report based on the findings from each of the previous 3 stages. It will break down the good bits, the bits to focus on more, and what your people have said. And of course, it will include your award level. If you don't meet the standard, your practitioner will discuss with you exactly why that is, as well as what you would need to do in order to plug those gaps. You'll have 6 months to address the missing pieces. Any of the indicators you have achieved, regardless of the level they've achieved at, will be valid for those 6 months, and any additional costs will be confirmed with you before proceeding. Remember, this is not a pass or fail exercise, it's a journey of continuous improvement. We're with you every step of the way, and then some. We'll come back 3 times over the course of your 3-year accreditation to see how you're doing, what's improved, and what you need to do in order to progress to the next level. So what happens now? We'll be in touch to take you through your journey in more detail, where you'll have the chance to ask any questions. If you have a question based on the content of this webinar, you can drop us an email or give us a call. We'd be happy to have a chat. I hope you found this webinar useful, and we look forward to working with you as you start or continue your journey with Investors in People.